Hello everyone, Linda Israel here, and I'm going to make a mini junk journal using some of my mixed media pages that I used for my Frankenpages. So I've got a few laid out here, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. The first thing that I'm going to do is I've picked out a few of the prints that I made, and I use stencils that I made, and I've used things like Tattered Angel's Glimmer Mist, and I've used acrylic paint to make different designs. So this is going to be my foundation, and I'm going to flip it over because what I want to do is add pieces to this side. And I've picked out a few pieces that I kind of like here that I thought would be kind of cute on the back side of this. And the first thing that I'm going to do is figure out how much of this I want to use, and I'm going to fold this over. And basically I'm making a crease where I want it to be cut or torn in this case. So I'm just going to tear it. So this piece is going to go over here. And then I think I want this piece up here and this piece up here. So what I'm going to do next is figure out what size I want it in the same fashion. And I'll do the same with this other piece. So I have a little board that I made. It's a piece of cardboard with some wax paper on it. I found that I was always running out of room to glue things. And then this is a experiment, if you will. Someone else has a video on how they made this glue thing. It's using a plastic container, a bunch of sponges, water, and glue. And I just found that if I use this when I want to attach these pages, I don't use as much glue, and it dries really fast, and it seems to adhere really well. I'm just using a peg foam stamp that seems to work the best and last the longest. So I've got that glued together. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this to be a page in my little mini junk journal. So the size of my little mini junk journal is one of my Frankenpages cut in half. That's going to be the size of my cover. So here is my cover, and that measures out to be 8 inches. I don't think you can see that. 8 inches here by 5 1/4. So I want my pages to be slightly smaller, so I'm going to trim this down to approximately just under 8 inches. So I'm going to trim off one side here. Let me trim this side first. So here is one of the pages ready for the next step, which is to zigzag stitch. But I want to make another page while I'm at this. So I have another piece of paper that I'm going to trim, and this is going to be my page. And then I will put a piece of paper with it to make a pocket. So basically what I've just done is I've taken these two pieces of paper and I've made them the same width. And then I made the green with the leaves 5 1/4 inches tall. On this piece, what I'm going to do is fold it. So let me get my paper cutter out of the way. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to fold it in half. We call this, I learned in one of my workshops, hot dog style, because it's long and skinny. And then I'm going to take this edge up here and fold it over. And then I'll fold this back. And then I'll slip this over the page, and this will become a pocket. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do a zigzag stitch across here to make this a finished edge. I'll do that on both sides, and then I will sew up the sides to attach it. So I'm going to take this to my sewing machine. I'll sew it. I'll be back. I have zigzag stitched across here to finish the hem. I added a little decorative stitch as well, just to add some interest. And then to attach the pocket, I zigzag stitched on the sides and all the way around. And when I use the same color of thread on both sides, you get a nice finished look on both sides of your paper. So that was the pocket page. And then for the page that Frankenpage is what I call it, a mixed media Frankenpage, I zigzag stitched around the pieces, and then I wanted a little more interest here, so I just sewed all the way across, and then I just made a decorative stitch around the edge. And then fold these in half, and these become pages that will now go inside my cover. So I'm going to line these up inside my cover, and the next thing that I'm going to do is take this to my sewing machine on a really wide straight stitch. I'm going to sew right down the middle, and I'll be back. I have stitched down the middle so my book foundation is put together, and the next thing I want to do is I want to decorate it. So I have some images from Calico Collage. This is the Daydreaming set, and what I did is, this is the original size that it comes, which fills an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And what I did on my computer was I told it to print on a 5 by 7 size, so it took this image and shrunk it, and it ended up making these little pieces a lot smaller. See how much smaller they are than the big pieces? And this is going to be little pockets inside the journal cover. The other thing I did was I took the smaller images and I mounted them on some cardstock so they had a little mat, and then I went around them with a zigzag stitch. Get that to focus in. Come on. There we go. And then I also took some little note cards that I had leftover scraps, and I sewed just random pieces of my mixed media pages that I made. Just doing the same thing, kind of doing a zigzag stitch just to add interest. So with these Calico Collage little corners, I trim them out, and then you fold up the edges, and this is going to make the pocket. So the next thing I'm going to do is use my distress ink and just go around the edge. And what this will do is it'll cover up that white area if I didn't get it perfectly cut, and make it a nice finished edge. So I'm going to do that to both pieces. These little pockets are going to go on the covers on the inside, so I'm going to place one here. I'm going to use the Best Glue Ever by Scrap Perfect, and I'm going to put just a little bead along this edge where that flap is. So I'm not putting a whole lot of glue, and I'll use the nozzle to kind of spread it around just a little bit, and then I'll place this right here on the corner. I'll take the next one, and it's going to go in the front cover. Then on the front cover, the one that is the little house with the flowers, that's going to go on the front. So I'm just going to put a nice bead all the way around and then make a zigzag in the middle, and that'll ensure that it stays on my little cover here. I'm just going to place this on the front here. I have a piece of book page. This is left over from one of my mixed media sessions where I took acrylic paint and a gift card and smeared it on and had a little bit of glitter in it. And then I've got a heart-shaped punch, and I'm just going to punch a heart out of there. I think I'm going to place this right here. So I'm going to use some of the glue, the best glue ever. My tongue got tied. I want some other embellishments on here. So I have this little box where I have punched scraps of paper. So I've got a little butterfly. And then I have this other box where I created little words on my silhouette and cut those out. Happy day. I just thought that was a neat little saying to put on here. So I'm going to put some distress ink on these pieces. I've got a little piece of eyelash yarn here, so I'm just going to trim a small piece off of here. So I have just a little piece of fuzz. And I'm going to place some glue up here on the corner of this image. I'm going to spread it around just a little bit. I'm going to take my butterfly and pick up some of that glue, and then I'm going to put the fuzzy right on top of the glue and then the butterfly on top of that. I may need a little bit more glue because I don't think I got enough. You hear down the happy day. I'm going to put that kind of cattywampus. Or crooked. It's going to be crooked. While I'm waiting for this glue to dry a little bit for the next step, I'm going to place these little journaling cards, one inside the front cover, one inside the back cover, and then inside the pockets is where the rest of these little journaling cards will go. I've got some tulip dimensional fabric paint, and I've put on the medium no clog writing cap. So it has a very fine point on here. I don't know if you can see that. It's really small. So I'm going to go around the edge of this butterfly and add a little bit of this glitter paint. And let me zoom in so you can see that. So I'm just going to add just a little bit right on the edge, and it'll give this a finished look. When it's dried, it'll be clear and have a really pretty sparkly edge. See there? And then while I'm at it, I'm going to put just a drop of this glitter paint down here on the heart. And to keep my nozzle from gumming up, I'm going to use the best cleaner ever. And here's what I found. If I just put just a small squirt right here on the cap, and then I'll take the needle tool that's going to go inside of here, and I just put these two together. What that'll do is that'll help keep that from clogging up, because just a little bit of that cleaner keeps it from sticking. I have some Embelly jelly, and the idea is this is some sticky product here that you wrap around a little stick, and then it can pick up things like gemstones. So I'm going to pick up a gemstone here. So I just got a little gemstone here on the end. I'm going to place it right over this glitter glue or glitter paint, and I'll use the stick to kind of mush it down. And then I'm going to do the same up here on the butterfly. So there is my little journal that I made. Let me show you one that the glue is already dry. So here's one I made earlier that the glitter paint is already dry around the butterfly. And it's just super cute. It's a great little journal, just quick and easy to make. It has 8 pages if you count the cover and the pages that are inside here. Or no, there's 8 pages, not including the cover, inside here, and then journaling cards as well. So it's just a great way, again, to use up those book pages that you've torn out of books because you used the covers and you want to decorate them. I have a lot of people that tell me that they don't have a whole lot of art supplies. Well, I didn't use a lot of art supplies in here. I did use paint, stencils, and glimmer mist, as well as the calico collage image, the image that I typed and used on my silhouette, a punch or two, and then some of the glitter paint, and a sewing machine. And you don't have to sew. You could doodle on here instead. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Of course, comment below if you have any questions or things that you want to say about this project. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Check out the description box for links to my blog about this project and the items that I used today, as well as my other connectors, including my Facebook groups. Thanks again for watching. Have a fabulous day. Bye.